Selection. The Jones family never stopped talking about the exam. All their advice, actions, and conversations were based on it. And Nick, becoming 17 years old, received a phone call and was notified, or rather warned, of the upcoming last chance. You get a morning appointment tomorrow, Nick, his father said with his face oddly enough filled with guilt and uneasiness. It had all started when he got to know about the exam at the age of 12, and since then, all he had done was grab a pen. It's a traditional test, Nick. Now it's your turn. Mrs. Jones had said, with her eyes towards the ceiling, she explained that the drastic changes in the Earth's environment by the continuous human activities against nature had resulted in an irrevocable situation. Natural hazards dominated the landscape, and by the time it all had stopped, nearly everything had vanished from the earth. But as time passed, things became settled, and through the government, people managed to get their lives back with jobs and family. But with nothing left but the devastated earth and shortages of food and water, drastic actions were needed. The government, being committed to be efficient with what they had, divided the people up into two categories known as Yipon and Saipan. Through the aforementioned test, in passing the test, people were regarded as smart and were able to enter the Saipan group to study and research solutions to the crisis the world was in. They were fed, paid, and relatively well treated. The ones who failed were, when lucky, placed in the Gi-san category to work in factories or mines as helping hands, but were mostly killed off to save supplies. Naturally, the people formed bloody competition mode to get into the Sapan group. Nick's parents remind him of this at least once a week to get him to know what he was studying for to save himself. The three of them gather around the dinner table, oddly dubious and afraid to speak a word. His mother soon spoke about the exam in an anxious manner, which caused her husband to cut her sharply. Forget about it. It's all in the past. There is nothing left besides doing one's best. You'll do all right, Nick. You have to. With his clenched fist, Mr. Jones' face showed his determination, and Nick gained his. I will, Nick replied. Strained tension flowed through the atmosphere. They passed through the entrance of the government educational building 10 minutes before the appointed hour. They crossed the marble floors of the lobby and moved toward the elevator, then headed toward the 13th floor, the testing grounds. The Jones family were put to rest along with some other families in the waiting room. Nick then noticed some kids his age crying. Their groans and tears that seemed limitless had gained the secret attention of all the people in that room. Nick, being caught at staring, quickly turned back and began to tremble until he felt his mother's warm hand that grabbed his shoulder. You can do it, Nick. She reassured him, clenching his fist. He regained control over himself. A few minutes later, a black man in a neat suit came with a red pill and a cup of water. He had heard about the pill before. A GPS used to locate everyone who had taken the test and decided to deny the judgment by the government. Nick Jones? Yes. Your classification number 708-27. Swallow this and follow me to room D242. He dropped the small pill on Nick's hand, looking at the foreign object. His face showed puzzlement, distrust, and a touch of fright, while his mother composed her face into a misty smile and said, "You've done so well until now, Nick. Let's make sure your effort pays off. I know, and you know that you will make out fine. Just do your best, son." His father helped out. Nick nodded and gulped the pill down his throat. "Let's go," Nick said, gazing at the black man. After sticking his classification number tag on his chest alone, he was instructed by the man on how to head to room D242. The door was already half opened, and inside was a room as cold and dim as a storage freezer, with a single desk, a machine with a clean white design, and two chairs facing each other. One was already taken. "Sit down," the examiner spoke softly, indicating a metal stool. The chair was a bit warm despite being in this kind of room. Nick assumed that there was another person who had taken the test and left not long ago. He felt the urge to quickly join the person, whoever it was, and leave this room. "Nick Jones, classification number 708-27, right? I am your examiner. This machine will speak, and you just have to answer by using this microphone on this headset. You are allowed to have as much time as you like. Need anything? It's a bit cold here." "It's to provide the best conditions to concentrate your head into focusing on the exam." Nick silently nodded, put on the headset, and started the examination. "Good luck." Mr. Jones and his wife had said nothing since returning home. They didn't drink, eat, speak. They just played priests on the couch, praying. Just as Mr. Jones ended his prayer, the telephone bell rang. The woman went for it, but the man was quicker. "Mr. Jones?" The voice was stiff, brisk, and official. "Yes, speaking." "This is the government education facility. Your son, Nick Jones, classification number 708-27, has completed the government examination, but has gone missing and is assumed to have escaped. We will locate him as soon as possible from the GPS, but we will need your cooperation. If you know the whereabouts of Nick, alert us immediately." Right beside him, the woman, unable to deduct anything from her husband's face, kept staring at him in a curious, anxious manner, waiting eagerly for him to speak, when suddenly the doorbell rang.